Hi, I'm Gordy Gundaker. Welcome to the Dirt Parlor podcast.
Hi, I'm Don Martin. Welcome to the Dirt Parlor. And this thing is big. Welcome to the Dirt Parlor, folks. First of all, before we get into our guest tonight, I want to thank our partners, Steve Martin at Nutrien Ag. I want to thank Jeff Hoker of Hoker Trucking. I want to thank Reed Millard of Millard Family Chapels. I want to thank my buddy Bo Popejoy at Popejoy and Hot Rod Septic. And then I want to thank my co-host who should be here anytime. He's like you rest of you late mile racers, doesn't know what a clock is sometimes. And that's my man Gordy Gundaker, who should be here shortly. And tonight's guest, we're going to get right into it. We got the Peach State and Georgia's finest. We got Ashton Winger coming on board with us tonight. Ashton, welcome to the show.
Yeah, I think you got Peach State right. I don't know about the rest of that, but.
Oh, stop, man. First of all, you don't need to think about relocating to Illinois. Am I right or wrong? I mean, you love the racetracks in Illinois.
I love the racetracks and love the women.
What about the promoters and the other people?
I will say the promoters that I have contact with, Curl and Jonathan Clayton, and I think everybody kind of has to like Driggers to a certain point. He's hard not to like. The racetracks are awesome. They run things pretty well up there. There really ain't no other way to say it. I'm pretty much a hater of the South, so.
Yes, you have been. Do you like? Well, you got Sonoya. I mean, it's a nice place.
Sonoya don't count. Sonoya belongs in Illinois. The people, the racetrack, it all belongs in Illinois. That's the one. That's the one that don't count. I don't have anything but good things to say about Sonoya, but pretty much anywhere else I'm good with driving right by.
You don't fall too. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree with your dad.
Yeah, my mama's right up there with him. She's I'm sure anybody that's been on Facebook can see she'll try to bite somebody's head off there in a minute. So I definitely get it honest.
No, do you still at one time you were calling basically Atlanta Motor Speedway home?
Yeah, actually I still am. I can actually take you right now. I can show you.
Oh, this is crazy. Folks, if you haven't seen this is unbelievable. This view here.
This is actually literally right out of our back window here. It's we're in the living room right now, and Dad's in here yelling at the TV. Him and McCready, like I said, wouldn't get along. Dad's not a Josh Allen guy. But it's kind of dark here, so this is, can you cut that light out? And it's dark, but there's the tri-oval there.
Wow.
They don't have it lit up tonight, but that's Atlanta Motor Speedway, or Echo Park Speedway they call it now, but we all call it Atlanta Motor Speedway. So that's our backyard.
Wow, that is so cool. And let's talk a little bit about your year. I mean, how would you assess your year this year, Ashton?
I don't know. I mean, we never really, I don't know. Me and my dad always joke around. We never really got started. It feels like we went to Florida and we were going to try that outlaw deal. We've done it once before, and we were, we really weren't prepared like we needed to be, like we thought we were. And then first night out, we broke a dang motor, and I don't know, we kind of just held on by a thread there for the longest time. And God bless my car owner, Jeff Matthews, because I mean, he definitely spends way more than he probably should to keep us going up and down the road. And it all just kind of, I don't know, like we tried to build our own cars there for a while, but I can tell you that anybody that builds cars, and whether you have success or not, especially the guys that have success, I can tell you I have a whole new respect. And it's tough, and we never honestly, I never really ran probably like I should enough for anybody to be necessarily interested in them. But as far as dealing with people and being successful, I have a whole new respect for those guys. And we just weren't I don't know, we never really got off and running. It was always kind of something kind of felt like out of our control, and then we would go race. We couldn't keep from stepping on our own foot. It felt like so. We got back in our rocket stuff, and right after the Dream, and then I was still in the outlaw deal, and actually we went out to North Dakota, and I think we had like I don't know, somebody put a stat out there, but it was we had run like top 5 or 10, like 8 or 9 races in a row, and we were racing.
That's right.
It felt like for the win there about every night, and just dang, we went to River Cities and we were leading and fell back and run third, and then the next night I think we went to that Nodak. And I think we were like third quick, and then we blew up a motor in the heat race, and then pulled our backup car out. And then the next day at that Minot, man, we blew up another motor in hot laps, and that was all we had. So we come back home and got another motor, and we didn't make it to the where was it? Deer Creek. Yeah, we didn't make it out there. We went to Sonoya, and that's like our backyard. And I got in a damn wreck that night, and then we kind of took a little break. And I don't know. We've kind of gotten back to the point to where it feels like every night we're up front and being competitive, but it's hard when you don't feel like you get started till about July or August, and now everything's winding down. So I don't. It hasn't been a bad year. It just hasn't been. It definitely hasn't been what we wanted to this point.
Well, you know the one thing I like, you never know kind of where you're going to be. You know, since you pulled off the outlaw tour, and I always like that. You know, and you don't really like. Your mom's probably the best on Facebook about kind of on the social media. Would you say your mom's probably she runs the social media?
Yeah, so she does a bunch of it, and then my buddy Matt James at Race Ranch, he does some of it, which
Yes.
I mean, God bless him. He tries to keep up with it, but honestly, I'm kind of the guy like I tell everybody I pretty much pick out races like Brewster Baker did in six pack. I just kind of look and see what's coming on the next week, and whatever I feel like going to now that I'm not on a tour, I go do it. And if I don't feel like racing, I'll just go hang out somewhere. Like this past weekend, we didn't race, but I was still hanging out over there at Peevely at I-55. I went to see my girlfriend, and I always end up at a racetrack. It's just a matter of whether or not I'm racing and how far it is from Georgia. So I'm definitely really lucky to have somebody like Jeff Matthews who doesn't. I don't want to say he doesn't care, but for lack of a better term, he doesn't really care what I go do as long as we do what we're supposed to and stay competitive. So um, it definitely feels good to have that free range, and hopefully one of these days we can get our ducks in a row and we can go try to make an actual attempt at a national tour.
Well, you look at since you've been back with Mark and getting in the rocket stuff, it looks like Mark and Sheppy have been gaining. To me, it looks like they've been gaining now with you, and then I see Bronze is back naturally in a rocket now too, and I think that's going to be good for the rocket program, knowing that Ashton and Kyle, you guys bring a lot of credibility to the game.
Yeah, I mean, there's people that say that, but I mean, I don't. Man, I'll be honest with you. I just think I'm just a dumbass from Georgia that just goes and races and does his best. I mean, I look at guys, he's still got Turbo, and Josh Rice is really
Right.
good, and everybody knows how good Shep is. And I mean, honestly, I don't know how much people paid attention, but to me, it's pretty impressive for Josh to not race for as long as he has and to jump in. And I'm not saying he's necessarily had the finishes he wants, but I mean, he's got the hard part figured out, and that's the speed. I mean, he's fast. So I don't know. I mean, I don't necessarily really think that Mark or Steve or Sheppy or any of them guys have fell off, so to speak. I just think that is a testament to, and I think if Gordy was here, he would tell you, man, this shit's hard. Like,
Oh, it's
you
crazy.
go. I went and ran that Hunt the Front deal last year, and I tell everybody, a damn Hunt the Front race is just as hard to win as an outlaw race. It's just probably a little easier to run fourth or fifth. I mean, it's uh, it's not. None of this stuff's easy. You can't go to a local or a regional 5,000 win race and go just pull in and win. I mean, hell, I'm going to that 30,000 win Powell crate race this weekend, and I mean, don't nobody really care who's done what, or all them guys were good. I just think that everything's gotten so I don't know, everybody's just gotten so good. Like, that's really, there's no other way to put it. I mean, there's not a I don't think anybody's necessarily fell off as much as guys have just gotten better. And I think that's
Right.
probably one of the things that makes our racing really good. Because, I remember was called a decade ago, when I was just riding up and down the road watching races and stuff. I mean, hell, you'd go to a World of Outlaw race and watch, and you could be 2 or 3 tenths off and still be, second row of a heat. I mean, shit, now you go somewhere and you're a tenth of a second off. I mean, you're going to be in the third row of a heat and scratching your head all night. So I definitely think that Rocket's starting to get their footing again, and I think the most important thing that they've got going on is you brought it up. I mean, they're starting to get their core guys back from from Bronson to they never really lost Turbo. I mean, I know he kind of did something along the lines different of what just same way as all of us. I mean, we all do stuff, but we've I don't know, we've all kind of found our way on back home, I guess.
Do you bounce some ideas? Do you talk, like, who out there, who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? You talking to Turbo a little bit? You talking to him?
Yeah, I'd say the main one I talk to is Turbo. I mean, I'd say we probably drive somewhat similar, and
Oh, there's definitely some similarities to both of you, and personality to a little bit too.
yeah. So yeah, I talked to him. I even when Kyle was in the Longhorn stuff, I talked to him. I mean, that he's always, anytime I've had any kind of question, he's been good about answering it. And I mean, obviously we're both from Georgia. I talk to Brandon Overton every now and then. That guy's as straight up as they come, and I haven't really talked to him as much since he's been in the factory car. But the few times, like I said, when he was driving for Wells and Harold, when he was driving racing for Harold Holly and Joey Coulter, he was always big into helping me, because I think everybody knows in this racing deal it's real easy to get down, and he's always been kind of there for me. And then obviously I race at a Clint Smith shop, so he finds a way to tell me every week some kind of thing I do wrong. So he's been really big in impacting me and helping me. So I've got a really good group of people around me, and I got a bunch of really good buddies. So there's no reason for us to not succeed. It pretty much all comes down to whether I do something stupid or not.
I can still remember when I was at the Dream when you made your first ever appearance at Eldora. I was with Brian Shirley, and I remember when you came on the track for the B and you made that A that night.
Hmm.
And I remember Brian Shirley. Brian Shirley's is always watched you,
Hmm.
and I know it's a lot got to do because of the respect he has for your dad. You know what I mean? So he's watched you kind of in the pit area, and I always remember that night when you made that A main at the Dream, watching Brian. Brian Shirley had about as big a smile as anybody I've ever seen in the pit area.
Yeah.
And it just tells you, it's a testament to what you and your dad have done. I mean, your dad is, I don't have to tell you, man, he's like gold to me.
Hmm.
And he's as good as it gets, and he's so damn smart. And I don't ever gets enough credit for how, I still would love to get your dad and Robbie Allen right here on set sometime, because, man, you talk about some shit talking that could happen. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, if you want to get something going, I'd say you need to get him, Robbie Allen, Jimmy Cabral, and if you could talk Burkhofer into coming in onto another one, and Jimmy Moores and Little Brian, I would say that.
Oh my goodness, Lil Brian. Oh my gosh.
I don't know if there's enough time.
No, that's we get 4 episodes a month. We get 4. We just tie them all 4 together in one. And just hammer it all out.
Yeah, but no, Brian Shirley's been another one. He's so I'd say the first time I probably ever really uh Squirrel means a lot to me. Me and him have actually grown to be what I would say he's one of the good ones. Me and him talk a pretty good bit. The first time I ever had any real encounter with him was when I was 21, and I kind of, me and Billy Franklin kind of split ways, and me and my dad kind of did it on our own in 2021. I had a lot of help, and I had a lot of really good help, but just overseeing everything was kind of my deal, and my dad kind of put his input on it, and we I went and run that summer nationals that first year, and man, the first week and a half I tore up everything we had in the trailer, and we'd always go hang out at Squirrel's shop. Squirrel or Fager reached out, and Fager was always real good to me, and um that Squirrel was like, man, if you'd ever just finish a race, you probably wouldn't lose one. If I'm being honest with you. And he now it's just funny, now we like I said, he's about as good of a buddy to me as I would say Turbo is. When we talk, I mean, that's what half the time we don't even talk about racing. We're talking about stuff we probably can't talk about on here. But
Oh, believe me, I
no,
know.
there's it's cool to me. I've been around it my whole life, and the guys that I looked up to growing up now, it ain't even about racing with them for me. It's just the hanging out. So it's all been pretty cool. And like I said, as long as I don't do nothing stupid to lose as good of a ride as I've got now, I'd say I've definitely got it pretty good.
Where are you headed to for the rest of the year? I mean, where's some of the places? I know you said, I don't know, I'll have to look and just say, but if you got a couple of places you're looking at
So
heading
I'll
to
for
for the end of the
sure,
year?
like I said, I'll be at Old Tech this weekend for that POW race, and then pretty much
Yep.
anytime they open the
That's
gates.
30 grand. That's 30 grand.
Yep. Anytime they open the gates up at that Why Not over there at Rodney's place, we'll be over there. We got the Fall Classic next week, and then
Yep.
I'm gonna skip out on Charlotte because that's enough south that I think that place is a complete shithole. And I'm not gonna go and uh, waste waste any mulligans my car owner gives me on somewhere like that. And then let's see here, we got that big race, them two big flow races at the end of the year at Sonoya, and then
Right.
and I ain't gonna lie to you. Anytime they open the gates up at that dome, I'll be there from now on. So
I was just getting ready to get into that.
I
You
love
know,
that. I've only done it once, but I fell in love with that. So we got some big races at the end of the year coming up, and I'm excited for them.
what the dome deal, the atmosphere, is that what grabs you? What is it about the dome that, man, just like that's why you want to be a part of it?
Well, it's the atmosphere, but I mean, there again, I'm pretty big on Illinois, and that's right across the state line. And when I say
Yeah.
Illinois, I pretty much consider Missouri, Iowa, we'll call it the Midwest. Um, I love the man for starters, man, the people out there. Like I just can't get enough of them people. Like they're just, which I ain't saying nothing bad about the people down here. We got really good people down here, but just the people up there, like they eat it, they sleep it, they breathe it. Like they you don't have to race to have the same, I want to say, moniker of an idea as we all do. Like they eat it, they sleep it, they breathe it, they want to be a part of it. I remember growing up, one of the things that doesn't really happen down here much is all the people from the stands still come down to the pits and you get to talk to them. And I think a lot of people now, all this has been so, I don't know what the word is. I think it's all been so uh, professionalized is maybe the word. I mean, hell, I enjoy talking to people and getting to know everybody. And it's just, as far as the dome goes, it starts with the people. The racing up there is way better than people think. Like I think when Cody
Oh,
started that deal, I think people kind of looked at it as a show, and it is to a point. But Cody will tell you in the drivers' meeting, like this is a show, this is an entertainment deal. But they got Kevin working on the racetrack and his whole team, and Miss Tammy and all she does for it. Like the best way I can explain it is it's like how the National 100 down here used to be. Like it's just an event, like it's not just a race, it's an event, and it's something that like you walk out of that tunnel for the driver intros and it's dark, but you can feel the electricity in the arena, and but then 10 minutes later, you got to get ready and you're racing for 30 grand, or this year it's 70. And what it's
yeah.
grown to is just like it's what made me fall in love with it. You know what I mean? I wish I remember I was young enough that I just started doing the late model deal. I think when Cody started it, and when I first heard about it, I was like, man, I don't know. And now it's something that I've got circled every year. Like it was something I had circled before I went and raced it. For the first time last year. It's everybody all kind of gets together. Everybody, it's close enough to Christmas. It's like a second Christmas. Everybody's getting together. We're all family, and the t-shirt sales help too, of course.
I think what's kind of neat about it is I remember we went to see Supercross. Here you are as a little kid watching Ken Roxon inside that building,
Yep.
you know, and I mean, I remember that. And next thing you know, here you are. It's like same type of crowd, atmosphere, even crazier now than ever, And then you got to look at it. It's like, wow, I came here watching Supercross, and now they built this little dirt track oval here, and I'm a part of this.
Yeah, no, it's awesome, and I think it's cool because it's also and I've always been big on. Um, I think it's really cool to see quote unquote the little guy win, and that's one of them races, man, where you really never know who's gonna win. Like I know Carpenter and Shippey have kind of stunk it up for however many years, but like
Yeah.
look at when Carpenter won it. Like uh, obviously that guy's good, and he's fast in his region, and he goes to Eldora and is competitive. But like, I mean, who would have ever thought that, when he did it? And then he did it again. And it's just,
And they did it again.
it's one of them deals where, like you go to Eldora for say, like, you're going to have to race the 49. You're going to have to race the 99. You're going to have to race the 20 RT. Like, you're going to have to race, I don't want to say the same guys, but there's guys there that just got it figured out. I mean, I know somebody that hasn't won there in the past, and obviously I'm close with him, but like, man, that Clanton knows how to get around that place. I don't, you go to the dome and you do one wrong thing and man, you're watching with everybody on Saturday. So it's I never got to the Chili Bowl. I've always wanted to go to the Chili Bowl, but I would say it's the closest thing that we've got atmosphere wise to Chili Bowl like. So
Yeah, for indoor event, it's I've seen that thing when it first started to where it is now, and I remember the first time when they even put a car out there for hot laps. I remember watching Scott hot lap the first time, and I thought, wow, this is pretty awesome. I mean, indoors, doesn't matter. Remember that first, it's sleeting outside, and here it is. Who really cares? Because once you get inside there, it's like its own element.
well, and I think I was 16 when they did that the first time, and
Yeah.
I hadn't really raced in Illinois any at that point, and I think that night, I think Babb drove by Scott with a few to go to win that first prelim night, and man, them people out there love them some Shannon Babb, and that to me is cool. Like it's, I don't know how to explain it. Like you don't have a problem with the say bigger guys winning, but it's just it's something about watching people come alive. I don't care if it's a bigger guy winning or if it's and I think it's just the event that does that. I don't think it's necessarily because of one guy or one thing. I just think it's that I give Cody Summer credit, man. That guy must be a magician because he definitely found a way to bring something new to something that's been around for a long time.
I think what Cody's done, I mean, he took a chance on something,
Mm-hmm.
and we both know there are a lot of doubters out there, like, oh, even if it makes it, it won't last. And it's one of the biggest events of St. Louis of the year.
Yeah.
The money it generates for St. Louis and stuff, it's as long as that building's there, I don't see it going anywhere. And it seems like, and I know a lot of people, man, that go to that event, that plan that event. It's like a vacation. I mean, they want to be a part of it. The way the restaurants and everything are downtown, there's a lot to do too there. You know what I mean? Just besides, and I think that's what's kind of cool about the dome and what's the atmosphere and everything else is created for. I know a lot of people for Fairbury. A lot of people for Fairbury are coming to the dome.
I was about to lean into that because I think the first, I'd say, I don't know, like I always kind of, oh, there he is.
What's up?
What's going on? That I would say what was so cool about that dome deal is I don't know, like, so when I was 19, like I'd say I probably started taking racing serious about the time I turned 19, and I went to the PDC for the first time in 2019, and I know Gordy probably went many times before that, and like the way that town shuts down for that, and then you go to the dome and you're like, man, this is Fairbury on steroids. Like it's the coolest thing about the dome to me is there's what is there 30,000 people there or however many people there is, and everybody knows everybody. It's like I mentioned earlier. It's literally like we just planted a big Christmas tree and that being the dome, and we're just all at Christmas. And I like I said, I don't man, honestly, if everything went to hell in a handbasket and I had the oldest car and the oldest motor, whatever, Gateway's just one of them places you just feel like you always got a shot. So I look forward to it every year. And like I said, the racing's cool. the electricity there is cool, but there's just some about them people in the Midwest that do it for me.
I know that Gordy just can't get enough of it, man. It's in this, I mean, Gordy just, and I know he just lights up when he talks about the dome. First of all, I mean, his mom and dad, are so committed to it, so it's beyond a little bit of racing, how much they put into it leading up to the event itself. And so it's kind of neat, and I'd like to watch Gordy get fired up as it is a little bit. He gets fired up on the show, but that week, my boy gets really fired up. You know what I mean?
I got a short fuse that week. Short. Yeah.
I've seen him fired up in Fountain City, Wisconsin, with a damn gallon of jungle juice, but it's
Well, that's the thing about the dome. There's two different styles of me being fired up during that. There's the race night fired up, and then we're all going to PBR after fired up. And that's so that's a whole different level. But it's just, man, I think one of the things for me why I love it so much too is like, the first year we did it, mom and dad and Bob and Cody and their entire staff, they build the racetrack, and I know like they put it out there, but me and Kenny Wallace were the first ones to go make laps on the racetrack. And so, I was the first race car out there to go out and make some laps. And I just remember getting done and Cody being like, "What do you think?" And I'm like, "Dude, it's going to be fine. Like, it really isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be." And just to see how much it's progressed from that first year to where we're at now, the amount of people that are in the grandstands, the amount of vendors that are, selling T-shirts, the amount of vendors who come to sell their products and promote their products. And you hear about all the people that come from across the world and across the country to come just because they want to be part of this spectacle. It just, man, it does. It gets me revved up, just thinking about doing the walkouts on Saturday night in front of those people, whether they're booing you or cheering for you, which is crazy because I got booed the one year because everybody loved Tyler Carpenter so much. And I'm like, I'm in my fucking hometown getting booed. How does this work? Like, how does this work? And then, we had like a 1 year down period. And then last year I was getting cheers again. I'm like, thank God, I'm like, I don't know what I would have done if I got booed again in my hometown. I'm like, damn, this is tough.
It was the glasses.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to be next year. I'm coming out in like a wig and all kind of stuff and doing my alter ego. But yeah, it's, I don't know. I think this year obviously is just going to be even bigger because it's more money. There's going to be more people. I feel like you're going to get a couple more bigger names that are coming this year just because of the money. So as long as they keep having it, I'd love to see 1 year just that place be sold out. I don't know what that would be like. It'd probably be the most beer drank in one night in St. Louis. It would rival like the world, like winning a World Series for St. Louis, I feel. So,
well, it does. It looks like, like last year, we opened up the upper level last year. Remember, we got it. So it looks like even this year, it could, I don't think a sellout's out of the equation.
Right. Well, I mean, they're already selling tickets for the upper level. You can't buy 3-day passes in the lower level anymore. It's only upper. So, and that's 2 months away. And that people, as soon as it gets closer, are going to be like, damn, we got to go. So it's, I'd love to see what the actual attendance numbers were from last year. I don't know what they were, but I mean, you would think that they were 30,000 plus for sure. And I would be hard pressed to think we don't get to 40,000 this year. And maybe not even more, and maybe more than that. So, yeah, I just, I don't know. I'm ready for it to get here already. And it's going to be here before we know it. That's what's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, but Ashton, you still got some racing left, right? Are you going to Eldora this weekend?
No, he's going to Florida.
We're going to, we got that Powell Memorial. I don't know. I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for saying Eldora don't really do it for me. But, no, we got that. And then like we got Why Not and the big race at Sonoya at the end of the year. And that's what's crazy. Like what I'll say about me going to the Dome 1 year, back to the Dome thing is like, man, Georgia, ever since I guess I would say when Tampa went away, when they used to have that 50,000 win at Dixie, like we haven't really had like uh I would say a race of the magnitude what Sonoya has turned into, and yet still I find myself almost, I don't want to say overlooking it, but like the dome's right there, you know. So
Right.
and I think that I think it's really impressive that the dome can go against PRI and as many people show up, because I don't know, I just feel like the Cody must have had a crystal ball, because and his entire team, because I'm telling you, like I can't explain that dirt late model racing, it needs the dome. Like it needs that. Like I can tell you that and Gordy knows this, and Gordy does, and I bet you everybody, you could bring Burkhofer back on here and all the big guys you've had on here. I know y'all had Dale, and like the dome is, like I've raced all over America. Like I've went to New York, I've went to New Mexico, I've went, pretty much the only place I haven't raced at is California. And like the dome is one of the few places that I can tell you that like TV really, like flow, dirt vision, all that stuff's great, but like it just don't do it. Like
Yeah.
like I see all this stuff, and there are a lot of big events in dirt late model racing, but the some of them I'm just okay with watching on Flow or Dirt Vision, or like I don't see myself not going to the dome. You know what I mean? Even to watch, like it's just
Yeah.
you brought up a minute ago, like I think I said in my interview last year after the prelim, like I'm ready to go to PBR. Like it's cool to me. Like we got a PBR 30 minutes from here in Atlanta, and me and my
Yep.
buddies go, and we all we get dripped out in our chains and whatever. And but like the coolest thing about the PBR the weekend of the dome is like there's nothing but racing shirts in there. There's nothing but
Everywhere.
racing hoodies, and like you just there's just something about it. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's in the water, or I just I I can't get enough of it.
Well, and two, the other thing that's so cool is like those race fans that want to hang out with us or, want to be around. It's like, that's the perfect weekend for it. Cause all you have to do is just go to the bar. Just go to the bar. You're going to see all your favorite guys you want to see racing. They're all there hanging out together. And like you're shooting the shit with these people and just talking about racing. And then, I think last year was probably the wildest one because actual PBR was in town as well. So when we got there, it was fucking cowboys and race car drivers. It was like, what could go wrong? What could go wrong at this bar tonight? I have no clue. Right. And so I don't know if there really ended up being any fights or anything crazy, but there was a lot, it's just everybody in there was toy.
There was one. I ain't gonna get into it, but there was one.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. We'll leave that one where it was.
Yeah. Maybe you can get them guys on.
Yeah. Well, they would have to tell that one.
That ain't for me or you to tell.
No.
We'll let everybody know it happened, but we won't let them know who or what happened.
And that's the thing. Shit gets wild that weekend. That's just the way it goes. So it's I think exactly what you said though. That event is not something like TV does not do it justice. You don't have like it sucks, but like that nasty dust that's hanging in the air at the end of the night is cool. Like in my mind, it's badass because it's like this doesn't happen anywhere else. Everything is covered in dust from the rafters all the way down to the plumber's ass crack that's running around in the pit area because there is just dust and dirt all over. But like the loudness, the echo of the dome and everything that happens there, you're on the edge of your seat the whole time. Cause you're like, man, what's going to go wrong next? What's going to happen? Who's flipping? Who's going through the fence? Who's going to try to fight? Who's going to get out and sound like an absolute idiot when they do an interview? Right. And, but it's like, and it just brings it out of you. And next thing you know, you look at Charlie Mefford, right? Charlie Mefford, he made a lifetime off of what he got out and said, right? Right. And now he's known as the "you can't park there" guy. He'll be known that, forever. And it made him a national phenom there for a little bit. And so that type of exposure, though, that the dome brings is great for our sport. Now, do we want the idea of racing is all we do is run over each other? Probably not. But for people that just get involved because of seeing that, and that gets them excited about it. Then they go see a race outdoors somewhere in the summer, and actually, they're racing fans. Like that's, I mean, you beg for that kind of marketing tool in any sport, and that's what NFL has the Super Bowl, MLB has the World Series. It's like we have the dome. Like
We have the dome.
right?
Yep.
Like
That's
what, and it's and it's a wild deal, and I think too. I think what's good about it is, although like the racers, we get worked up. We all understand going into that. It's like, listen, your body is not going to be straight when you leave. Your deck's probably going to be knocked out of it. You're going to hit the infield wall and bend a bumper. Like you're well aware you're $5,000 to $10,000 into it before you buy a hotel room. Like you already know, and it's just like it's all right. If one of my buddies runs me over, it's just shit happens, and you can be mad about it for about 30 seconds, and then it's just like, oh well, whatever. But I mean, you look at the headlines it's brought. I mean, that Tyler Carpenter Hudson O'Neal deal was absolutely awesome. I was I was in the infield that year when that happened, and the sound Huddy's car made when he hit that opening for one was wild. But to hear the crowd booing Tyler Carpenter again, and middle fingers, I mean, scattered throughout the dome like you wouldn't believe. I was just like, man, I had goosebumps, sitting down there because I'm like, you don't get this shit anywhere else, because anywhere else, the fans are far enough back you don't even really notice them. Like you're not paying attention there. You're looking up in the grandstands as you're pulling off, going, all right, do they like me or they don't like me? They're either standing up cheering or they're just standing up going, fuck this guy. So.
Well, and it's even back to, like this happened last year and I seen it, but it's, it don't even have to happen at the front. I mean, hell, think about last year. Think about how many T-shirts this Jack Riggs sold when him and Moran got together, and you see on Flow, they're following him back and everybody's just and then he walks out in a Devin Moran shirt. Like, you just don't, which I think the dome brings out, like, people don't understand. At the end of the day, like, the guy who I don't like the most in racing, I'd still pull over for him if he was broke down on the side of the road. Like, I don't think people there, you can kind of see it. Like when Super Shep and Carpenter's bunch last year, like, you give them an hour, you probably see them at PBR together an hour. You know what I mean? Like you can't get anything other than just the truth and the whole truth at the dome. And like, that's what I'm saying, man. Like when Cody did that deal, I don't think he realizes what he's brought to the table. Like he probably does now, but he probably had no idea then that it would turn into what it has. And like, man, another thing too, like I'll say, the most underrated aspect of it for me has been, because anyone that knows my dad knows he don't like the show, he likes the racing. Like like we go to race, like that's what we do. Man, the racing is good. And not only that, like, yes, stuff is going to happen, but somebody could blow a semi tire on going down the interstate and something could happen. Like the racing is good. And in all honesty, like if you're okay putting a deck panel or a quarter panel, like it's really not that rough on equipment. Like
No.
it's just, which I'm an idiot, but I love it. It's something that I look forward to every year. I circle, I count down to it like it's Christmas. And I think it's really cool you brought up, like you go to PBR and you're talking to people. And this is what I was telling Martin earlier about, like one of the things that we've really gotten away from in the South, and one of the reasons that's made me fall in love with Illinois, Iowa, Missouri, the Midwest is it's like the times haven't quite changed there as much as it has, let's say, in the South, because like nowadays, whenever racing gets done in the South, and I don't blame the people, they're tired of seeing, we race down here in the South, it's bullshit. You watch us ride around for 40 laps on the rubber 90% of the time, and everybody gets up and leaves. Well, I mean, hell, like you go to Fairbury, you go to Farmer City, you go to Lincoln, LaSalle's back open. I mean, Spoon River, all these places. The races are over. People come to the pits. Like, and I think people have kind of put, I would say dirt late model and modified and sprint car and midget and everybody. They put all these drivers up on a pedestal of being, I can't speak for everybody. I don't want to be NASCAR. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be, I don't want to be looked at as anything other than just a regular guy who gets in his race car and races. I mean, I know for me, I'm really lucky, and we're all lucky to get to do the racing we have. But you could go to any local dirt track across America and see that there's going to be somebody there with the talent to do it. Now, do they have everything lined up like maybe me or you or whoever has? No, maybe not. But I just think it's really cool that people look at us like they do at Gateway, at PBR, or wherever we go. I mean, I think the hookah lounge got shut down, but wherever we go, I think it's really cool that people can look at us like real people. Because I mean, there ain't nothing special about me. I'm just a dumbass from Georgia who can halfway go around in a circle, and when there's a curve, I can probably hit it a little better than some. But I just
Yeah.
think that it's really cool to. It brings it all back down to earth a little for me, and I think that's really cool. And I don't know if Cody Summer listens to this, but I can't thank him enough for bringing back the the human in it all. Like it just brings the little kid out in me, because it's like you said, when the Cards won the World Series, like part of that is you go and you see all the video board and the music and the people, and like we get all that. Like we do get to feel like a superstar, I'd say, for 15 minutes. But I mean, I don't know if you can say the same. Like I don't know, everybody's different, but like 15 minutes is enough for me. You know what I mean? I just want to be looked at as a regular guy that races, and I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
One of the things real quick that I think is so cool about the Dome is when they tell you guys to fire the engines up all at the same, and everybody does it at the same time. And I'm not a racer or anything, but I can tell you, man, it gets the hair standing up on my arms a little bit, knowing that this big ass building, and you guys fire those things up and that rumble that's going on, it's pretty badass.
It's awesome.
Dude, I'll tell you, like last year, obviously for me, like a start on the front row with Sheppy, and I would say, you go to any big race, right? Like you get your butterflies. I was fucking nervous. Like I was nervous. I was very calm through all the opening ceremonies, through the walkout, everything. And then we came back and they let us fire our motors up and we're doing everything. And I remember standing there and just like, holy shit. Like this is a big, for me, obviously, for once, my hometown and all these, I have so much involved in it, but I was like, damn, I'm like nervous here. And then we fire everything up and I just remember kind of rolling around and still kind of having some of that jitter. And then it was like, all right, we're going lights out. And then it's just like silence. It's like, all right, here we go. But like that's how big this event has become, that there is nerves to that. Like you think, oh, hell, you're just going out there, you're going to pile around, and wherever you end up. But you see, I mean, you look at what happened when Turbo won it, right? Nobody knew the story behind everything that's going on there and the emotions he was going through at that point. And what that, ended up meaning, to his entire family and their team and stuff. Those things, that only happens on a big stage, mind you, right? And so, that's how big that Dome race has become, because it is. I don't want to call it a crown jewel, because I don't think you can group it with that in a sense. It's its own deal, but it's a massive deal on its own, right? And I'm not saying it hasn't become I guess that it could become a crown jewel, because hell, we're all there. I mean, we were talking about this the other night. You figure all the guys that'll be there. You look at both national points. You got Bobby, you got Thornton, Hoffman, JD, Moran, Huddy. It's like Overton, like they're all there. So it's not like it's, hey, 15 really good guys showed up. It's like, no, there's like 70 of us that are in here. And at that place, anything can happen. I mean, you look at some of the guys that have made the features there on Saturday night that you wouldn't necessarily pick out to go make the race at Eldora or the North-South or something. But here they are in the A-Main on Saturday, and they got just as much of a fighting chance to win that race as the rest of us do.
Yep.
So the even playing field, I would say, about it is, spectacular. And like, to go back what you were talking about, it really, the last 2 or 3 years have been fantastic racing wise. Like the feature on Saturday night has been really good. It hasn't been bonsai rough, but it's had multiple lanes and it's kind of gone through a track transition and all of those things. Like the feature on Saturday night is like, well, if you want to blow the deck all the way out and go for the win, you absolutely can. If you want to ride around and run eighth, you can do that as well. Like it's just purely up to you. And I think back to 2 years ago when Bobby just absolutely yard sailed that thing for the last 5.
Yep.
Like, you're not going to see that shit anywhere else.
No. And
it
that
was
guy's won everything.
Yeah, it was spectacular to watch.
It's awesome. The best way I can, it brings out the little kid in me. Like like you literally can't put it into words. It's one of those things that where, it's back to what you were talking about. Like I get nervous twice a year, qualifying for the World 100. And what I found is qualifying at the Gateway Dirt Nationals. Like, and it's like last year, my prelim, like I started on the front row with Opie, and me and Opie are really good buddies, and he won, and I was, I feel like I could have done some different things to win, and I didn't, but to see him get out and the reaction he got, like it makes you happy for other people to see, you know, it puts it all in a perspective that, like, hey, this ain't all about me. You know what I mean? And then, like, at the end of the deal, like, I'm standing up there in my prelim and I look left and I look right and I've got Opie and Sheppy. And I'm like, dude, these are blue bloods of Illinois. And then we're standing up there getting ready to shoot the cannons off um, for the redraw. And I look and I think it was you, it was Hoffman, it was me, Sheppy, Opie, and there was one other one. RTJ, it was Thornton.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yep.
looking around up there and I'm like, fuck, man, I'm a fish out of water in this deal. Like these are all these are all guys they're from this area, and it's awesome. And I think that the thing that for the racer, if you're like my dad and you only like the race, and like I can confidently tell you that if you win at the Dome, you are a bad motherfucker. Like you are just like you cannot put like you, especially when the racetrack does have some character to it, because it's not like a lot of places where like you go down there and you're trying to avoid the holes, like the way it is rough there. It's like you aim for the holes, and I think that you said it best. Like you can literally do whatever you want there. Like I'm not saying blowing the deck out of it's gonna win the race, but there is an odds-on shot that like if you do want to blow the deck out of it and just go get it, you can and go forward. And the way our cars now are and the way everybody that's good is as good as they are. I talked a little bit earlier about how back in the day, 2 to 3 tenths would be, you could still start front row or second row in a heat race. Now you're a tenth off, man. You're starting third row in a heat. And like Gateway is one of them places where like you can just go make it up, and you might tear some shit up and you might end up a meme for 2 3 months. But I mean it's awesome. I love the camaraderie of it, the event, the fireworks, the music, the noise, just the like I said, the people is what does it for me. But and then you get done with the intros and you're all hyped up and you're for me, like I did mine and I shaved off a piece of my head, and like I like seeing what everybody else's deal was. And then it's like 10 minutes later you're strapped in and we're racing for 30 grand like we would be a month, a month or two before at any other race. Like you got to get locked back in. You got to be mentally tough, but I also think that there is something to slowing down and taking it all in, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing about the Dome is that the aero aspect is completely moved out of that situation. Right. And so it is a place where if you do go up there and blow the entire spoiler off it, it really doesn't matter all that much. You're going to be a little bit looser, but hell, now you got a little more clearance and you can really, and it's just like, oh, well. And so, how I don't remember last year, somebody did that and I remember watching the heat race and it was like they got faster.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, well, hell, we didn't even need the spoiler. Just leave some of it. Yep. No big deal. So, and yeah, every year it somehow brings out some unbelievable moment, right? Something wild happens, something gets said or whatever. Like there's a video spot that's just like, there's already one for this year. We don't know what it's going to be, but there will be something wild that happens in 2025 at the Dome that we'll talk about until next year's Dome. Like it's just the way it goes.
It's going to be my intro if I'm in the top 6. I don't know if they'll let me do it, but I'll tell you, I've got it planned out, and I hope I'm lucky enough to be in that top 6. I might do it even if I'm not, but I hope it's my intro.
I pray we get to see it, because the driver intro portion of it is awesome in itself, and it's kind of that part's nerve-wracking though too, because you're like, man, if I go out here and do something stupid and they look
Trip and fall, yeah,
it's like, what's gonna happen? Like this is gonna look terrible. But it's I don't know, it's cool that we have something like that, because don't get me wrong, we're the only aspect of the dirt racing that has something that way now, because we don't have the midgets there anymore. The sprint car guys don't have something like that, so then they're all tuned in watching it, just as much. So, I mean, obviously they have the Chili Bowl, but the Chili Bowl does not rival the electricness of Saturday night at the Dome. That's for sure. And I've rolled down the ramp on Saturday night for a main time in Dom's car before, and it's nothing. It does not compare to. Now, I was also liquored up when I was cruising.
No, that is better than jungle juice. It's better than that jungle juice.
It was the best. The best was it was the year that JD was there driving for Dom as well. And I just remember I got in, they got ready to push me down the ramp, and Brian Liverman saying, I'm like, Liverman, give me my drink. He's like, you can't take that out there. I'm like, what are they going to do? I'm not racing. So I go cruising down. I'm cruising down the ramp with a styrofoam cup in one hand. And Dom's like, if you hit one of them cinder blocks at the end of the bottom of the ramp before the amen, I'm going to kill you.
It's just Sprite. It's just Sprite.
Yeah. It was no. He knew it wasn't just Sprite. I think I started at like 9 a.m. that morning. So
I still remember when McCready and JD were talking at practice, and JD looks at Timmy and he says, "Man, you got any advice, about these midget things?" And Timmy looks right at Davenport and says, "Yeah, if you see the lights in the ceiling, that's bad."
yeah.
I always remember Timmy looking at JD telling that, if you see the lights in the ceiling at the Gillette,
there's something about McCready too, just the way he says things. Like,
I know.
Like anybody else says that, you're like, oh, haha. But like the way McCready talks is just, he's him and Fuller. Fuller's another one where did y'all happen to catch Fuller's interview from?
Dude, that was priceless, man. The Integra coat, that was awesome. So
they I guess they're racing around in the rubber.
Oh, it's terrible.
Fuller's running like 4th and just pulls off. And they walked up to Fuller and they were like, what was wrong? Like, what happened? And he's like, my interest rod broke. Just straight faces. And anyone that knows Fuller just kind of knows. And he's just like, the announcer's just like, or the pit reporter, God bless him, was just like, what part is that? And Fuller just sits there with that death stare, and he's just, it just, I don't know, like that. That killed me.
Yeah, I will say what I do love about our racing in general now across the board is with Flow and Dirt Vision and all of this. Those guys that have that personality or that just dry humor about the fact you get to see some of it, they just walk up and they stick the microphone in your face and like, it's their job. And I absolutely get it. And you have to go do your job. But there's so many times when they're walking over there going, and I'm just like, oh, they have no idea what the fuck is going on.
Clue.
But this is going to be awesome.
Whenever.
It never fails.
This year at the, what was it? I think it was a PDC. On the Flow night, I think Clanton's left rear tire fell off.
Oh yeah,
and I think Shelton or Essex or Dustin Jarrett, one of them, they said, go over there and get a word with it. And Mike Norris is like, I am not going to Shane Clanton's window right now. And like a lot of people are just like, why? But like if you know Clanton, you know why.
Yeah.
Like,
you go ahead. Go ahead and poke your head in there at Shane Clanton right now. after he didn't even make a competitive lap because his tire fell off. Let me know what he has to say. Oh, dude, I'm telling you, and you know what, like especially the older veterans, like guys like McCready and Clanton and all them, like they have no filter left.
None.
They're on the backside of their careers where they are not worried. They're set in stone with what they're doing, on out. So they're not uncomfortable telling you exactly how they feel about a situation. And I will say, like 99% of the time, they're probably right. Like
No, they are.
you know what I mean?
They are right.
So far off. Like I tell, it's awesome.
Yes, and they do. They just come straight through there and will tell you exactly what they're thinking, and it's just like, oh, this is perfect TV. Like you just pray for moments like this, and now it's every night, right? Like now I think they need to keep doing it more. Like they need to keep going and sticking microphones in guys' faces because the sound bites we're getting you're just getting better and better and better, and it just shows guys' personalities, right? Like the fans want to see that stuff. They want the rawness. They want the I'm pissed off, or we sucked, or this racetrack's a piece of shit, or the series doesn't know what they're doing, whatever it is, or like those sound bites are the best thing for our racing because it's like these people want that, like drama and social 20-second social media clips are what creates something to thrive right now, and it's just oh man, it's so funny though too because me and Ashton I feel like are very similar on this where we'll say whatever we want to or just it comes flying out and it's like well there it is, but I know I'm sure you've done it too where you've sat there and thought about it and been like all right, just don't say anything stupid, just get through it. Then you get about 20 seconds in and you're like you know what, fuck that, like why would I not?
You can't help yourself.
I was telling Martin earlier after the weekend I fell off the Outlaw Tour, there was just nothing going right for me. Like I had done tore up both motors in the truck that I had, and I got one that weekend. I went to Sonoya and I started like 10th, and I'm sure you have places like I do. Like every time I go to Sonoya, I expect to win. Like realistic or not,
Yep.
it's just it's what I expect of myself, and um I started like 10th and got to third. And I think me and Zach Mitchell, we got together racing and I ended up on the bad end of the deal. And it knocked the right front tie rod off my car. And I hit the fence. I spun around, hit the fence, broke my right rear wheel in half. I was mad. And then I'm actually buddies with the kid now. His name's Hunter Jordan. He's the announcer for the Hunt the Front deal, the pit reporter. And I was actually like his first ever interview in Lernerville after me and somebody got together. And he come up to me and they got the camera on me. And I'm telling you, I'm not even got my helmet off yet. Like it's like boiling, like just mad, like not mad at Zach, not mad, just mad. You know what I mean? Like I think that's one thing that people don't see is when we're mad, most of the time we're not even mad directly. We're just mad. And this Hunter kid walks up and he's like, "Hey, we got to get an interview." And I'm like, "You don't got to get shit. Get the fuck out of my face. Fuck you. Fuck off." And they got the camera in my face and everybody's texting me after laughing. And I'm just like, why the hell did I do that? Like that poor bastard was just doing what he's doing to make his living, and I'm just a dick. Like, but it's just like it's in the same breath. Like people, they want that, like they see it, but it's just. But I will say this: I do prefer that over. And I'm going to sound like a complete asshole when I say this. I prefer people to want to see that as opposed to them wanting to see us tear our $100,000 race cars in half. So, I mean, it's I don't. It's just cool. Like everything. I know we talked about Gateway a lot and the PDC a little bit, but everything that our deal has become, it's. I mean, it's awesome. It's I can tell you, like, I never wanted, I raced some bandoleros down here at the quarter mile in Atlanta, and we went to Texas, and we went to Vegas and Charlotte and all over. But like for me, I never wanted to be in NASCAR. That's just kind of just what we did for a stepping stone. And now, I look back and I'm just like, man, we're lucky to have the exposure and the everything we have. Although I will say, I would probably give my left nut to be a fly on the wall on some of those Have a Tampa days and Stacker 2 days when all them guys just to hear them guys. One of the funniest things that I think about is, and we touched on it, was how these guys have no filter now, the older veteran, and they shouldn't. Like, they've done their time, they've done whatever, but now I think it's so funny. We got Francis as the Outlaw Series director, and all of his old buddies that he used to run up and down the road with, like, they just walk up to him and he gets motherfucked probably every single night, and he just stands there and takes it. It's just like, I don't like, what do you do, man?
Oh man, and I will say, that's the one thing, when Francis became the race director in 23, we're on the Outlaw Tour. I've known him my entire life. Francis, one of the stories that he told me, he said, the first time I ever knew I wanted to be a race car driver was he watched my old man at East Bay win a doubleheader show on the same day. And he said he passed Larry. He said Larry Moore thought he was running the top, and your old man passed, So, but so Francis and I'm like, oh, this will be really good. We'll probably butt heads on some stuff, whatever. It more became like, at the end of every night, it was like there was a line waiting to talk to Francis. And he's just standing there and just like, oh man. And
he's just like a beat dog.
Yeah. And it's just, and it's his job. Somebody's got to sit there and take it. But when you got 10 pissed off race car drivers and they know there's only one person that gets the lashing and he's got to continuously get it, I'm like, you have to be a sucker for abuse to want this job. Because
I tell everybody, Francis literally wakes up in the morning to get yelled at. Like, that's what he likes, to get yelled at. And then like you're saying, the line of people, man, if you're standing 7 or 8 in that line, like, if you've got any kind of like moral ethics or anything, like, you're almost like, maybe I'll let this one go. Like, this poor bastard needs a break, man.
Yeah, dude. I know we were racing somewhere. I think it might have been up north, and they sent us out there for a heat race, and they had just watered, and it's slimier and shit, and they just send us green. And I'm telling you, it was so dangerous going into turn 1. I mean, I know I was already pissed. And so we get out, and I beeline to Francis, and somebody comes walking up next to me, and I'm just screaming. I'm like, how fucking stupid do you guys have to be to try and do, like, you're going to kill us, like, this is dumb. And I get ready to turn and walk away, and Francis looks at the other guy, and he's like, well, what do you guys say? And he looks at me and he goes, no, that pretty much covered it.
Have you guys ever noticed, though, like, if you're watching a World of Outlaw show, and by looking in there, you can tell by the way Steve walks, right? I mean, he has that walk, and he doesn't even look happy when he's walking. You know what I mean?
Like, hey, like this. Hold on.
Yep, that's it. Left hand's got to wag a little bit.
Yep.
He's
got his head kind of down. He's looking around going, all right, who's coming?
Yes.
Who's coming?
I can tell you that my favorite one to watch get after Francis is Boom Briggs.
Oh.
Boom Briggs will call Francis, and he's not, I don't know. I should say he calls him everything under the sun, but he's just like, Francis, what planet are you on? Like, and Francis will just be sitting there just straight, just.
Oh man, I'm telling you, I'm glad. The only thing that's probably best that hasn't happened in our sport yet is a lot of hot mic stuff. Because the minute that happens, there will be some shit that people hear that you would never think you'd hear. And, the year we did when they did me versus Tyler Carpenter at the Dome, they attached a mic to me for 72 straight hours. So, I guess not when we went to the bar, but every time we were at the racetrack, I had it on from the minute I walked in till the minute I left. When there was a video guy following me around, he had headphones on, and if he was within like 500 foot of me, he could hear whatever anybody was saying. And, once this ordeal really started kind of taking weight, and people really started picking sides, people would walk up to me and they'd start talking, and I just reach in there and just grab the mic. And I'm just like, oh no, this is not good. Like I'm like, hey, I'm wearing a microphone. Shoo. And my video guy'd be standing back there and he's just going, just shaking his head. Oh, it was, but there's some of those things that I, I do wish the fans could see some more of that. I think they would enjoy it. But man, the pit area after a big race, when something goes haywire or a bad call gets made, dude, you talk about the shit hitting the fan. It happens in a hurry, and it is great. And then next thing you know, whoever's part of that series is trying to play mediator and trying to calm. Listen to me, you're not calming down two race teams who hate each other at the moment, no matter what you say or do. Like, you're better off just letting them fight each other and get it out, because the minute you give them a whole night to stew on it and they didn't get it out is when we end up getting destroyed on the racetrack the next day. That's when that all comes to a head.
I tell everybody, and I'm not saying that I don't need it, because I probably would get it, but a lot of stuff would probably get fixed by somebody getting punched in the mouth. Like, and I'm not saying I wouldn't probably be on the wrong side of that sometimes, but
Yeah.
it is the one-liners you hear. I will say, the one-liners you hear, you're just like, how the fuck did you come up with that?
You know what? Like, that's the thing when you look back at what into the older generations, right? You go back to the late 80s and the 90s and the 2000s. When shit happened, you think about guys like Scott James, who had like, he would go after you no matter what, right? Like, you had to decide, like, okay, if I'm going to go in here and crash this guy, if he's 6'2" when he gets out of that race car, and I'm 5'10" and he's got 50 pounds, I'm going to have to deal with that. And you had to think. You don't have to think. That's all washed now. Like,
Yeah.
hey, you don't have to worry about that. If somebody walks down and hits you in the mouth once, right? Like, we all probably deserve it at least once. And you get hit, like, you're gonna second guess that the next time. Like, real quickly, you're gonna go, man, I really don't want to feel like waking up with a bloodied up nose and a black eye tomorrow. Like, I might just give this guy a little bit more room tonight.
Yeah.
And I held the 1 year at the PDC when we were racing. I was on the Outlaw Tour. I run over. I think either me and Clanton hit or something happened where we all kind of got piled in there together. I'm telling you, that's the first one down there. I was like, Clanton, hey, I didn't mean to run into you. I'm like, I know you're probably pissed, but it was not on purpose. So if you want me mad, that's fine. But just know I didn't mean to do it. And he's like,
Yeah.
I'm like, that big dummy, like, he don't know any better. So I'm like, I don't want him walking down here swinging at me. Like, I'm not going to make it out of that one.
I'll tell you, and what's crazy is you don't get on TV is you don't see how big some of these guys are. Like, so that you bring up the PDC. So I was at, I think this was in 22. Me and GR had just split up, and it was the first race I run for Big Frog. And I get there and, like, know nothing about this thing. Like, get there, we qualify fast time, and I'm like leading my qualifier deal. And with about, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I run 90 laps without power steering like Bobby did. If he did, man, that's a bad motherfucker. But I want to say that I started, I got into a lap car and I was leading, and like my power steering was acting iffy. Like, it wasn't all the way out. Well, with about 4 to go, man, this thing went all the way out. And you know as well as I do, that curb at Fairbury gets to a point where you got to enter on it right front first if you want to be fast. I'm leading, and that Tyler Bruning was running second. And we come to the white, and I'm leading, and I'm telling you, my arms, when I say felt like jello, that ain't even the word for it. Like, after 3 laps to this point, from 4 to go to the white flag, I was like, I'm going to fucking crash. I run down into 1 and I get through there okay. Well, then, what people don't understand about power steering is it ain't just turning left. It's that fucking back steering.
Back steer. Yep.
I get to back steering and I overcorrected. Well, when I overcorrected, I had to come back left. Tyler Bruning had been working on me for 5 laps. And I'm telling you, he finally got just far up enough beside me, but like I had overcorrected too much and I wheeled back left. And when I wheeled left, I had so much force into it. The little bit I had, I don't want to sit here and tell you like I don't bench 350 or nothing like that, but I had everything I had into it and I went back hard left and I hit him in the right front. Me and him have both about went through the infield and Garrett Smith ended up winning. And I ended up sixth. Well, Bruning ended up like third. He was in the race, but we're all the same. He probably felt like he should have won, and he didn't do anything wrong. And man, I walked down to him, and when I got there, I was like, dude, I mean, I know I fucked you there. I didn't mean to, but like I know it don't fix it, but like, and he's just like, he's got the beard, he's total, he's got the
Yep.
stereotypical look of a logger, and like I was just like, I mean, honestly, if you want to kick my ass, like you can, like it's. I'm not saying I could. I'm not saying I could do anything about it, but like honestly, if you do want to, you just do it. But it's just we've all had that old oh shit, like this
Oh,
ain't good.
me and Tanner English had a hell of a wrestling match one year at Town, Illinois.
I read about that on Dirt on Dirt.
Yeah, Summer Nationals race. We had went to Clarksville, and we were running third and fourth at Clarksville, and we're just putting the infield tires, right? And you're just moseying around there. And he was super loose in front of me, and he had like stacked a bunch of us up. And he went into 3 one time and just got a little more sideways than he had. And my nose just ramps up over him, and I get caught in his tire, and we pull up to a stop. They send us both to the back. Well, at Clarksville at the time, Tanner's going there all the time. So, all the English,
Yep.
these are there.
English, Melvins, all of them.
Yeah. So it was me, 15-year-old Trevor, the girl I'm dating at the time. That's it. Like, I don't have no help. And nobody's on my island with me. There's nobody I'm parked next to that's going to come to my rescue. And they come down the hill, and Scoggin stops them, and no. And Tanner says, I'm going to get you, I'm like, dude, I didn't try to run over you, but I understand, whatever. So we go to Brownstown, Illinois the next night, and we're running second and third in a heat race. And he throws a slider on me in 3 and 4, right to where that opening comes back.
Yep.
And he gave me no chance. Like, I didn't have a chance at lifting or gassing up to miss it. I just got him, and then I got pancaked into this turn 4 wall, and I get sent off the front stretch. He runs second. I run seventh or whatever. I'm pissed now. But at this point, I'm like, I do not want to keep doing this deal. We're going to run into each other nonstop. So I get out of the race car, and I'm parked all the way clear down by turn 2. And he's up behind turn 3. I get out, and I'm like, I'm going this way. So I just start walking. My old man's on the four-wheeler next to me going, I don't think this is a very good idea. And I'm like, listen, we're going to settle this right now, and it's going to be done with. So we go walk. I'm walking down and walking. I'm like, damn, I'm never going to get there. So by the time I'm almost there, I'm like, I'm fucking out of breath already. Like, this is going to be good. Tanner sees me. He beelines. Well, the funniest part about all of it is when Tanner gets to me, he steps in a hole, right? So we're going to go right into it. But he steps into a hole, and we chest bump. And then next thing you know, we're on the ground and we're wrestling, and right, like in my, we're just like piling on. Next thing you know, Steve Lampley, my old man, Tanner's brother-in-law, there's like 6 of us in a dog pile on the ground and whatever. And we got up. Me and Tanner didn't talk for like a month, but we never hit each other. And then like a month later, we're like, yeah, fuck it, we're over this. So I'm glad we got that out of the way. It's for the best, But, my dad and his old man raced together, and like that's how they used to take care of shit.
Yes.
That's the way it was. And it's like you had to deal with the repercussions if you wanted to run somebody over. And now they're like, well, if you hit somebody under yellow, or if you hit them in the pit area, or you go down and fight them, you're thrown out. But if you run in there wide ass open under green and you KO this guy's shit, all good. Like, what sense does that make? It makes absolutely none. And you would think a guy like Francis would understand that, but they just don't change the rule. They leave it. Well, if it happens under green, there's nothing we can do about it. But God knows if you're going 10 mile an hour and you go up and rub this door, you're DQ'd. Like, I don't know. I just wish they would get back to something. I'm not saying we should have, open fight night every night we go racing, but damn, if a guy walks down there and socks somebody because he run him over and destroyed his shit, we probably should just let that go. Like, hey, what? Hey, it was good TV, right? They're going to market it. They're going to put it out there and put it on social media as soon as the video comes out, and they're going to be cheering it on. But we're going to DQ you and take your money for doing it. So
that on the that topic of your story at Clarksville, and on the topic of me probably deserving to have my ass beat, we went to Magnolia, and I want to say I was 17, and I don't know, I'm probably as tall as I was now, but I was a stick and bones. Like, it wasn't nothing. And we're out there racing. And this is, like, for the longest time, some of our big events were those big crate races at the end of the year. Like, JD used to come run the Turkey 100, and Weaver and Madden, like the end of the year, we didn't have the races like we do now with Gateway and the big one at Sonoya and the Fall Classic. Well, we did, I guess. We had the Fall Classic, but like, that's what everybody did down here, was we just went and ran crates. So I went and I was running crate and super, going back and forth. I was running more crate than super, and we went to this Magnolia, and I'll never forget this. I felt so bad for this guy looking back on it. And so it was me, my mom, my dad, and my cousin Will. My cousin Will races now. He went to Fairbury for the first time this past weekend and raced. And he to know Will is to love him. He's just one of them guys. And Will's a year younger than me, but Will is like 6'1", 240. Like, you look at Will and you're like, I don't want none of that guy. So we go, and he was about that size, when we were 16, 17. So we go to this Magnolia and practice night. Lanigan is there driving one of Grant Garrison's cars, and he is, I'm not shitting you, a half a second better than anybody. Just because, I mean, he'd won super races there. Like, Lanigan was just really good, and we the way they do it is like how Summer Nationals does when they don't have 32 cars, is you qualify and you hot lap, you heat race with your group. Well, this guy, I got put with Lanigan. So I was 17. I'm like, motherfucker, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't got no fucking shit. You know what I mean? Like, this is bullshit. Yep. Like, my best shot this weekend was to hope this guy ended up in a group that, had some better guys than me in it. And so we're out there racing, and he qualified half a second better, and I qualified second to him. And we're out there in the heat race, and Lanigan has a 1 second or a straightaway lead on me. And about lap 7 or 8, this was when Race Monitor was still a big thing. Like, mine and Lanigan's lap times kind of mellowed out a little bit, like got even. Dude, with 2 to go, I drove this thing straight in the fence, wide open by my. Then they took 2 because there was 6 or 8 heat races. I drove this thing straight in the fence, and I was like, "What the fuck am I doing?" So, y'all have all been around my dad. My dad don't say a fucking word to me. He's like, you're gonna drive like a dumbass, like you're gonna fix this motherfucker. Like, I'll be in the truck, like college football's on, Georgia's playing, you're gonna fix this piece of shit, and like, if you don't get it done, whatever. And whenever you're done, you're driving the fucking truck home. I'm like, whatever. So I'm out there fucking piecing this thing together, and I finally got it back ready to roll. There ain't no telling what was fucked up on this thing. And I start like ninth in this B main, and they take 3. Well, I don't know about you, but especially when you're younger, like now I can kind of let stuff roll off. But when I was younger, like, I've always kind of been hard on myself, but I was like, I can't believe I did that. Like, I'm just mad, whatever. Well, we have a restart in this B main with like 4 to go, and I'm running like 8th, got 0 shot at making this race. And I'm in the car, and I just tell myself, I'm like, the first motherfucker I get to, I'm fucking killing. I'm like, we ain't, like, I don't give a fuck who it is. Like, they're getting their shit wadded up. Like, somebody's about to have as bad of a weekend as I am. I get to this poor bastard, and I wheel left at the flag stand, hit the Ute tire, hit this poor bastard in the left front, run him out across the racetrack. We run 11th and 12th. And in my head, like, I feel better. I'm like, oh, yeah, like, hell yeah. Like, you know what? Hell yeah. So we rolled. And in that moment, like, now I'm like, you deserve to have your ass beat. Like, you're a piece of shit. Like, but so I'm walking back, or I'm driving back, and I see my dad and this guy, they're going at it. And I'm like, fuck. Like, didn't think that one through. You know what I mean? So I get
Right.
back, nose this thing in, I get out, and that Magnolia, you've been to Magnolia, hadn't you?
I haven't been there, no.
So the way Magnolia is, I'm trying to think of a pit area that would, it's big. It's really big. And so like I'm parked along the fence as far away you can get from the racetrack. And like I said, I told you who all was with me. And my mom, God bless her, she's a saint. She's like, I ain't getting in the middle of none of that. That's all y'all. So at this point, it's me, my dad, and my cousin Will. Well, I see Will and Will's back at the trailer with me. He had the four-wheeler. And I see these people round in the corner, and there's fucking 20 of them. And I'm like, oh God. And so I told Will, and like, and by the way, I've yet to see my dad. So my dad and this guy are off arguing. What they're walking and arguing, and my dad don't move very fast. So I'm sitting there and I turn, and Will's like, what the hell are we gonna do? I said, I don't know about you, but I mean, it looks to me like we're getting ready to fight. And so he's like, well, what's the plan? I said, I'm not going to go do anything extravagant until it gets out of hand. You know, if this guy wants to talk and fight, like whatever, like me and this guy's fine. But, you know, he's bringing 20 people. They're not planning on fighting fair. I was like, I pointed at the jack and I'm like, get that jack handle out. And I was like, I don't care if I'm on the ground getting the shit beat out of me. Like, if I reach my hand out, like, the sole purpose of me doing that, hand me the jack handle.
Give me something.
Yeah.
Give me something.
And by the way, I don't condone that. I'm just saying that, like, you know, you back you back a rat into a corner and some bad shit's gonna happen. So I'm like, nothing to freak out about. Just, you know, we'll handle it. So I'm sitting there, and here they come. They get there. This guy walks up to me, and he's like, honestly, a really odd way to open a conversation, by the way. But he's like, I'm the starting shortstop at fucking Louisiana Tech or something. I don't. He said something, and I was just like, I don't give a fuck. Like, fuck you. What the fuck's that got to do with me? And I'm standing there, and we're like arguing back and forth. Well, at this point, the guy my dad was arguing with was this guy's dad. So they've done walked up. Well, this guy's dad has done run over, seen me and him argue. So he's in my face now. So now at this point, there's two or three of them in my face, and I'm like, it's time.
Here we go.
Nothing comes. Nothing. Well, luckily, my dad comes through, and like my dad just is a no bullshit kind of guy. So he just like, man, I feel bad for the guy's dad. He just takes the guy by the shirt right here, lifts him up, and throws him on the ground. And then at this point, like we're like ant scatter, we're all halfway fighting, and I'm just like, fuck. Well, then like I don't know, everybody like kind of goes on whatever about their business. Well, then the funniest part of the story, 5 minutes later, I'm sitting there, I'm looking like, you know, everybody all right, like whatever, like there wasn't too much, like nobody, like they didn't do nothing, we didn't really do nothing, we're just being stupid. And walk back out, and my cousin walks out of the truck. When all this shit is going down, my cousin has went up in the truck, the biggest one out of all of us, I'd say, and he walks out with a box of fucking Cheetos and a bottle of Dr. Pepper. And I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me, man? Like, you left me down here in the trenches taking grenades.
Taking hand grenades.
Taking grenades.
Just like, what the hell is the matter with you, man? And he's like, I ain't getting in no damn fight, this and that and the other. The very next week, the son of a bitch got sent home from school for fighting at school. And I was just like, you are the biggest piece of shit that I know, bro. Like, you can't even make this shit up. Like,
left me in the trenches taking grenades, John.
I'm just taking. I'm in the trenches taking grenades, John.
hope you fall off that bike and break your two front teeth, you selfish son of a bitch.
I know, man. You know that.
You know, I'll never forget. This was one of the funniest stories, and Ashton knows this. I'm at the Chili Bowl with your dad and Mike Collins.
Oh God!
So you can imagine. This was Gordy. They all of a sudden are like looking at me and they're going, "We got to get the quick trip by 11," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And they go, "Well, that's when they bring the donuts in and they're fresh, they're almost hot."
Oh my God! Yes.
So anyway, one of the best stories is this was when Timmy got hurt at the Chili Bowl. It was that year.
Oh shit.
Mhm.
Okay.
And so Winger, we're getting ready. We got to get to the hospital. Okay. And Winger says, we still got time to hit this quick trip before we get there. So we get there, and I'll never forget it still to this day. There was, we're in there, and Greg Wilkie's daughter, Nikki, who's married to Rob now, Greg's daughter, Nikki, they come out with all these donuts. And we're going to the hospital. She said, can I ride with you? I said, yeah, it's not a problem. So I said, but we got to make a stop here at this quick trip. And I'll never forget it. They get this box of donuts, and they got like a quart of milk with them. And they're eating these donuts on the way, and I'll never forget this. Nikki looks right at Gary and Mike. She says, you both are going to have a heart attack. And your dad looks right at her, dead serious, said, sooner the better. Still never forget it. Instead of those guys going, yeah, you're right. Gary was dead seriously, sooner the better. Like that. She just did drop dead in her track, never said another word. She realized that both of these Collins was correct.
And I'm sure Gordy's the same way, got the same stories. And everybody who goes and races with their dads got the same stories. But so we were at East Bay for when I first started driving for GR, and just to give you an idea of how me and my dad's relationship is so we're there, and trying to think, I think it was the first night. Fuck, I think it was the first night, and I think I qualified like 7th in my group, run second to over 10 in my heat, started 7th, and I was like, like I'm thinking before the race, like, there's a chance, 30 laps, $5,000 to win, mind you. And $5,000 is a lot of money, but
Yeah.
it's not the most money. And so I'm out there and I'm racing, and I blink and I'm in fucking second. And Dennis is leading. I'm second. Huddy's running third. Huddy drives by me in the bottom. And we have a caution. There's like 6 to go. And y'all know how East Bay is, man. It just switched it like that. It is all in the bottom. It's not rubber, but there's that little patch of moisture around the bottom, and it's slick all the way across. But then there's like that much in the top. Well, I know where Dennis is going. So I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, this fucking Hudson better not give me this top. Well, lo and behold, Ashley Schwally comes over the radio. All right, 71 pick. Hudson wheels left, I wheel right, and I'm out there. I'm turning $9,000 under caution. I'm like, oh yeah. Like every year, somebody always does something at East Bay and looks like a hero. And I'm in the car thinking to myself, I'm like, I'm that motherfucker. So we go green, and Hudson beats me through. Dennis is leading. Hudson beats me through 1 and 2. Well, about halfway down the back straightaway, I kind of, shoot back forward a little bit, like we all even out. Well, I blast the top in 3, and in the car. Now on video, it don't look like it, but in the car, it feels like I'm going 90 mile an hour faster than these guys. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm just like, I just got to keep at it here. Like I just got to stay committed, stay committed, stay committed. I blast this thing off down in the top in 1 and 2, and this is back when we run 1300s, and when nobody could steer. And I come by 1 and 2, the stands where everybody's sitting, and little Brian is like, you could literally hear your motor over everybody's, like bad. And I ended up like, I touched the brake pedal, and I ended up locking the rear tires up and back in the fence. I've knocked the rear clip off this thing, like just destroyed it. After the race, I'm madder than fuck. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, this sucks. So first one I see is GR. GR, team owner, all that. And I was just like, all right, well, here's problem number 1. And GR is like, that was awesome. You're getting after it. I fucking love it. Like, that's what I want. I want somebody who wants it. You know what I mean? And I'm like, well, you got that guy. Like, you know what I mean? So we, then here comes my dad up in the trailer 2-3 minutes later, shuts the door, calm as can be. And he's like, what the fuck was your plan there? And I was like, I mean, obviously I'm trying to win the race. I don't know what, I don't know. I'm trying to win the race, man. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And he's like, that was one of the worst fucking displays of driving I think I've ever seen. And I've seen a lot of racing. Well, I don't know if y'all knew this, but my dad raced a little bit, and it did not.
Didn't go.
He was not him. So he so I just popped off. I'm 22 at the time, and I'm how we all kind of
Oh yeah.
give us one of the like, oh, I whoop my dad's ass, this, that, the other, what popping off. And I told my dad, I was like, well, there's a reason why you're in the seats watching me. And
Oh.
like you said, right in my eyes, straight face, no emotion. He said, I realized I wasn't worth a fuck, so I quit. He said, you're a dumb motherfucker because you haven't figured it out yet, and you got t-shirts made. And like I said, Gordy's gonna understand. Like, I hate to say it, but the motherfucker's usually right. I can't. It tastes like piss and vinegar saying that. So the next day, Sheppy's leading, Overton second, I'm third. No. I'm sorry. I was second. Overton was third. It was back and forth. I think me and Overton, but I cleared Overton on the top. Same condition like we're talking about. Mud ringer on the bottom. Got to be in the bottom. So I had just got by Overton, but I got by him in the top, and I just kind of timed it perfectly. Well, so I picked the top, and we go green, and I cleared Overton, got down in line, and me and my dad the next day when we weren't trying to kill each other, we had the conversation of, he's like, I don't have a problem with you going after it, getting the win. He's like, but when it doesn't work after one or two corners, get the fucking line and run third, run second. Like, you run third, second, or third. He's like, this is the same conversation we've had on the Hell Tour when you destroyed everything in the trailer week 1 to week 2. He's like, the difference between guys like Squirrel and Bab and all Sheppy and all the Pierce, everybody that runs good, is all these motherfuckers are going to be wiping their shit off and unloaded tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning. We're not even going to be at the racetrack at 10 o'clock in the morning from fixing your shit. So I'm just like, whatever, man. Like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, you're just, So we, the next day, I round that top. I'm trying my damnedest to get by Sheppy. Can't make it happen. After a lap, I suck down in line in the bottom. Only time I've ever seen it. Sheppy missed the corner, and I drove by him in the bottom for the lead. And a caution comes out, and we run like second or third. And my dad's like, "You believe me yet?" And you know what I mean? Just like, that's just how that's how me and him are, man. It's,
Throw on this one.
yeah. So that's
that's one of the things. I would say it's awesome having your old man with you. It is the coolest thing. Don't get me wrong. I love it. But at the same time, when the shit goes south, there is no team meeting about, hey, we need to do better on this time, next time, or, what happened. It is you are the stupidest, dumbest fucking guy I've ever met. I don't know what you're thinking, what you're doing. Do you even know where you're at? Do you even know we're racing race cars? Like, you
got way too much of your mama in you.
Yeah. Those conversations, and we ran up and down the road on the Summer Nationals with Big Bob and Bobby, when I was running Pierce cars, and it'd be the same thing. They'd win. The next time, Big Bob would be over there sitting in a lawn chair with a Mick Ultra watching Bobby fix the race car, saying, I'm not fixing it. You destroyed it. I'm going to sit right here. And so, those moments they're engraved forever.
No, yeah.
You're never going to forget them, because the lessons you learn, or the way your dad actually feels about you when you fuck up, is what comes out in those moments, because then damn, he really does think I suck.
I tell everybody always gives me shit because they're like, your dad don't never smile in victory lane. No. And I look back, so I won my first outlaw race at Cedar Lake in 2020. And, at the time, dude, this Sheppy hadn't lost a race in 3 months. And like we went out and I redrew the one, and I think me and Lanigan started on the front row. And in my head, I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, I fucking suck. So the only way I'm going to win this race is if I do something different on tires. So I went around and kind of had an idea of whatever I was doing on tires. And this was back when we were in 20s, 30s, and 40s.
Yep.
So everybody put a 40 on. So I was the only guy there that put a 30 on. I get the lead. I'm running like a bat out of hell. Probably turn this thing $9,000 for 40 laps. The absolute opposite thing you need to do on a 30 when everybody else has got 40s. And Sheppy got to second with about 20 to go. And Cedar Lake's one of them places where they got 2 or 3 jumbotrons and they got race monitor where you
Right.
can watch. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, it's like I'm watching my own funeral. I'm like, he's gonna pass me. I'm gonna run second. Like second ain't good enough. Whatever. Well, we get down to about 10 to go, and I'm like, holy fuck, like I've held this guy off. Like there's a chance here. And like I said, I've led every lap, and we get down to 5 to go, and I'm like, now at this point, like I'm in the car, I'm like this, like, and
Yeah.
Sheppy slid me in 1 and 2 with 3 to go, and then I turned left down the hill and slid him back in 3, and I kind of had an idea of how he slid me, the run he got, where he got it, because like I was running the bottom in 3, and I was like, the only way he got a run to slide me, he had to be the first one to move to the top. So I moved to the top, rounded it. We won. I get out, do my beat on the roof, do the mic drop I do, and I'm pumped. Colby, who's working for me at the time, is pumped. Like we're all pumped, and my dad is in victory lane just shaking his head. And I'm like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And he's like, "You are the stupidest motherfucker I have ever seen drive a race car." He was like, "You get out after leading 39 and a half out of 40 laps, acting like a complete jackass." And I'm just like, we just won a World of Outlaw race. What the hell are you talking about? And he's just like, you are the dumbest motherfucker I have ever seen. He's like, if you had one shred of talent, you probably wouldn't lose a race and this and that and the other. It's just the like we're literally standing in victory lane at a World of Outlaw race, and I'm getting my ass reamed, and I'm just like, but
We're
then
acting like
like you said, you hear Sheppy talk, and Shep's like, oh yeah, my dad choke slammed me in victory lane, like.
oh yeah, dude. I'm telling you, it's a different type of racing when you race with your family. It is a style, and you never know what's going to happen, and you get fired like 37 times a week. You know, all the time you're fired, and go find somewhere else to drive, and whatever else it is, and then shit goes good the rest of that night, and then you're still hired for the next day, and you get to wake up and go racing again. And it's like, holy shit, it's like people don't understand. It's stressful.
Yeah, no,
It is.
well,
You're
and
like,
Martin knows as well as anybody how my dad is. We'll go somewhere, and I'm good to do at least one stupid thing a weekend. It's just a matter of how big of an impact it has. And we'll do something, and my dad will be like, I've had to go up and down the road and race with these guys, and you are one of the dumbest people I've raced with. And one of the things people talk about is, I mean, and I know it gets me in trouble, but like I drive really hard. That's not no secret. And everybody's like, why you do that?
you,
Well, when I was, let's see here, I was 10 years old, and we were racing just down here at the quarter mile in Atlanta. And um can't remember, I think so. We used to practice on Wednesday, race on Thursday, and my dad would do that so he could kind of go to the races on the weekends and do his deal. At the time, he was doing everything on shocks, but mainly it was Olin stuff. And
Yep.
my dad picks me up from school, and he's he has the trailer attached, and I'm like, where the hell are we going? And he's like, we're going to practice, and I'm like, do we have to? And he's like, yeah, we have to. You fucking suck. Like I'm out here racing and like in these cars against fucking 10 and 12-year-olds, and I'm running fucking fifth and sixth every night. And he's like, you fucking suck. He's like, you're either gonna figure it out or you're gonna fucking quit. Either way, it's gonna be cheaper on me. And so we go practice, and this poor bastard, I'm telling you, he's out there changing gears, springs, motors. The motors and the things, you can change them in 20 minutes. Everything, staggering tires, everything you can do to a race car. And he's just like, I'm getting no faster. It's engraved in my mind, 17.0. That's all I could go. And at the time, the real good guys could go about 1670s. So we go home, pull in. My dad would work on shocks late at night. And he's out in his shop, and I guess it finally hit him that I'm just out there kind of just fucking off, like riding around. And he's like, that's why he said, that's why, I said, do we have to go? And so my dad takes his shock wrench, and he's got a pretty short fuse. So he slings his shock wrench across the shop. Well, it bounces and knocks the window out of the shop. So now that's my fault. He comes in the shop. I'm in bed for school the next day. He comes into the house, and I'll never forget it. Like, I hope this ain't too much information, but like from the time I've been however old, I've always slept in my underwear. I had this pair of Buzz Lightyear underwear that I slept in. Just a detail to the story. And I'm sitting there, and I always like sleep on my stomach, and he barges through the house. My mom stays up late reading books, reading conspiracy theories, all this bullshit. He barges through the house, and he's like, and I was asleep at this time, but she's like, where the hell are you going? And he's like, I'm gonna fix this motherfucker right now. He comes up, he grabs me by the waistband of these Buzz Lightyear underwear, and rips me around in bed, and then yanks me up out of bed up against the wall. And he's like, let me tell you something, you little motherfucker. He's like, I got to go racing and do consulting with all these guys, and I got to hear all their bullshit and they pay me. He's like, you don't pay me shit. He's like, you're either going to go out there and give it 110% every lap you make, or you're not going to race. You're going to have to find somebody else to pay for. Next day, won my first race. That guy struck the fear of God in me, and ever since then, like, that's just how he is. Like, and I think it's a dad thing. Like, he gets so mad, like, you know what? And the funniest thing is like, you know, he'll tell me something, and I'll be like, "You're a fucking idiot." And then like you could walk up and tell me, and I'll be like, "That guy's got a point." You know what I mean?
Absolutely, dude. It's the truth too, and it's how it goes. It's that hard. You're just so hard headed. It's just about being your old man. You know, I mean, my dad's favorite thing to tell us is that he'll forget more than we'll ever know. That's his line, and as you know, and I mean, he's probably right. I'm about 100%. You know, but it's it's comical, and you know, we had a kid, Brady Jokinen, that's been doing my social media videos and stuff. He got to witness it firsthand up there at Cedar Lake, when I didn't let Trevor in the B main when I run second and he run third, and he had to run the last chance race. We get out, and Brady, he posted on social media, but he happened just to be filming, and Dad and Trevor are yelling at me because I didn't let Trevor pass me, and I'm yelling back, and we're cussing and yelling and all kind of shit, and Dad fires me on the video and tells me to find my own ride and all hell. And then Trevor went and made the race. And then by the time Trevor made the race, everybody was happy again.
We're all good.
So, no, I know it. So,
hey, we're going to be taking this show. Gord, probably Ashley, you're going to have to be a part of this. We're going to move the Dirt Parlor show, man, to the Dome. We're going to do a live. Gord is going to try to get everything set up to where you do the show live in the infield. Have a little table going on, a little round table. You definitely need to be a part of this one.
If we could do it on the day that maybe I don't have to race, maybe if me and Gordy can get lucky enough to get in the same one, we can just prop a couple of bottles up there, and you guys can probably get plenty out of us.
I was thinking about doing it maybe like Wednesday there, when move-ins happening and doing it. So, but I want to do like a big round table. Get 8 or 10 of us, put us in a circle, and just let the shit start flying.
I'm down.
I think it'd be great. It'd be a lot of good stories and a lot of things that people that tune in have probably never heard of and never knew what goes really on. And you know, I think it's going to be cool. It's one of the things, obviously, with so many names that are down there at the Dome, and obviously our entire group. You know, with the Dirt Parlor being located here in St. Louis, it makes it really convenient for us. So there'll be a lot of cool shit that comes out that weekend that we're going to do. So, you know, it'll be good, but we'll have like a Dirt Parlor, you know, attendees list. You know, guys have been on the show are definitely getting an invite to that one. And then we'll tack in a few more just to see how much shit we can turn up, you know, on an hour or two worth of videos. So,
I'm ready. I'm down.
Hell yeah.
Well, Ashton, man, thanks a lot for coming on, man. Really appreciate it. I mean, dude, you and Gordy tonight, the stories and everything, man, the people at home, I'm not going to lie to you, Friday when this shit comes out, you better be ready. You better strap your boots on.
Well, hopefully it was hopefully it was just a decent, follow up to Berkey. I'll have to go watch all of that one. That guy's good as gold. So
Yeah. We've now had 2 back-to-backs where they've been a little off the rails, a little wild. And I love it. I love it. The Burkhofer one, I'm telling you, I go back and watch quite a few of these. Burkhofer one, I think I've watched 3 times already now. It is just so damn funny. So yeah, dude, we appreciate you coming on there, and obviously I'm sure you guys, but congrats at Fairbury there a couple weeks ago. So
Yep. And good luck this week at Alltech. Good luck.
I appreciate it. We're gonna need it. I am god awful in a crate car. So
yeah, you'll be all right.
but yep, I appreciate you guys. I'll see y'all soon.
Anytime you need anything, you reach out to us. And Gordy, you want to say, I'll let you close it out. You want to thank the sponsors I opened up with, I'll let you do it.
Yeah. I just, Jeff Matthews obviously does a ton. Thanks to him, and Super K Express, Kaiser Manufacturing, Integra Shocks. He likes me to say, we're not dead yet. We're just, we're trying to start the climb again. Thanks to him, New Point Lighting and Design, Wayne, his whole family does a ton for me. A Plus Collision Center, CSR Aluminum Fabrication, Crown Security, everybody, Whoopit Creek Construction, RVS Curse, I don't even know Gordy's apparel deal, but that to add that one to there, he's done the last couple for me, thanks to him, and just
Very cool.
like I said, everybody. I know I forget a ton. Like I said, Wiles Drive Shafts, Stealth Carburetors, just everybody at Durham Racing Engines, Mark, Steve for all they do, 77 Speed Shop. Just like I said, we got room to grow. If anybody wants to join on a dumbass, I guess I ain't a kid no more, but a dumbass from Georgia who likes to tear shit up. So I appreciate everything for everybody, all they do, and we'll I don't know, try to get lucky a few more times like we did at Fairbury a couple weeks ago.
No, I don't think it's luck. Don't think it's luck at all.
I love it. All right, well,
Give your old man a hug for me.
All right, I will. I'll see y'all.
Yep. We appreciate everybody back home who tunes in every week to the Dirt Parlor. I had a few more people that came up to me this weekend at Wheatland, and I enjoy talking to all you guys that tune in. So make sure you like and subscribe us on YouTube. Thank you to Steve Martin with Nutrient Ag. Thank you to Jeff Hoker with Hoker Trucking. Checker Custom Screen Printing Embroidery. Bodies by Skinny. Our dude Bo Popejoy with Hot Rod Septic. And, of course, Reed Millard with Millard Family Chapels. And my badass co-host there, Mr. Don Martin. So
thank you, man.
And we'll see you next week.
All right. Love everyone at home. Thanks for watching, and thanks for tuning in to the Dirt Parlor. Thank you.